Gregory Hallows, and this is Preserve Halloween Podcast. So hopefully this sounds a little bit better. I'm using a microphone in my computer to record the podcast today because this one's going to be a little bit longer than the typical, 15, 20 minutes maybe podcast that I knock out. This one is another list. I think the last time I did a list was comparing or, judging, I guess, Halloween candy, the top Halloween candy. I found a list and I decided to go over the list that this website had, and we discussed candy. And everyone knows now, I'm assuming, that my favorite candy is Snickers. So take that how you want it. But I listen to a lot of music. I used to work in college radio. When I was in college, I worked at the radio station. I used to work for MTV. I've managed bands. I've been street team for record labels. I've done a lot of stuff with music. Cannot play an instrument to save my life, but I love music. So I constantly am listening to music. I have to have music on almost 24 hours a day. It just, makes me feel better. So Sirius XM, I've already kind of, let my feelings felt about Sirius XM and their Scream Radio channel. And this year, it looks like, or seems like, they added another channel that plays more music, or I think it just plays music. Scream Radio is kind of sound effects and instrumental and stuff like that, but I just have an issue with it. I don't want to be negative because I try not to be negative. This is a Halloween podcast. It's supposed to be enjoyable and not, complainy. So I listen to SiriusXM has a countdown this year, and it's called SiriusXM Freaky 50 Countdown, which is fine in itself. If it's just freaky songs, then, I expect Rick James and things like that. But during the broadcast of the Freaky 50 Countdown, it also says this is the Halloween's greatest hits, where putting out a greatest hits of anything is, you're going to get complaints and arguments and backlash, and people won't agree with you. That's just the nature of people's opinions. Most people, well, not most people, but there are going to be a lot of people that have their own opinions about what you or they consider greatest. So this was like they put it out as a podcast. And it's when I was on my way to my office today, it was playing again. But I sat down and listened to SiriusXM. I think it's channel 104, and wrote down every song in their top 50. And to say I was disappointed is an understatement, but I'm going to try to, remain positive. That's why I can't be a movie critic, because I try to find something positive about every movie. But this list is really good music. Like, I'll just say that off the bat. It is really, all the songs on it are really good. There wasn't a song that I didn't enjoy, but I tried to keep in mind that this was me judging it as a Halloween list. And much like me judging whether a movie is a Halloween movie or not, I tend to be a little critical. So I'm just going to go through this list. There's 50 songs. Probably 10 of them I would include on a Halloween playlist. There are a lot of Halloween playlists out there that are great. I probably don't agree with 99% of them as Halloween playlists, but as party lists, as festive, something to get you in the season, they work fine. I have my own Halloween playlist. I actually have my own Halloween radio station at my house. And you could argue with me the same points that I'm going to argue against these songs, because I have stuff on my playlist that's not Halloween, quote unquote, like all of the soundtracks and music from all the Silent Hill games. Those aren't Halloween music, but I like listening to them. So they're on my radio station because I want to hear it. But this list was specifically created, I'm assuming, as a Halloween's greatest hits. And I applaud whoever came up with the list, because they did try to add a lot of music that's not normally on playlists, because if you're going to make a Halloween playlist, you're going to guarantee almost exclusively it's going to have Monster Mash and Thriller, right? Almost every Halloween playlist in the entire history of playlists has those two songs, which is fine, because they're both really good songs and they both fit the narrative of Halloween. So it's great. But before I ramble on, what have I been rambling almost over 5 minutes now? So big shock, right? Let me get into this list and discuss some of these artists and discuss why or why not I believe they belong on a list of supposedly the Halloween's greatest hits. Which, I mean, to only pick 50, you're kind of screwing yourself anyway, because there's way more than 50 great Halloween songs. But it's what they chose. So let's get started. Number 50 is Rina Sawayama and a song called Frankenstein. And Rina is a Japanese actress, model, singer who has lived in London for a big majority of her life. What does that matter? Nothing at all. I just looked her up because I didn't know who she was. And this song is really good, but it has nothing to do with Halloween. I don't understand why this song was included, other than they Googled monster names and came up with Frankenstein, and this song was on it. So, you know, like I said, this is a great song. This great voice, really good pop star, but this song does not belong on a Halloween playlist. So let's just keep going. I could just talk whatever. Next song, sorry, I just hit my mic. Next song is Block Party Hunting for Witches. Another amazing song. I think again that this song was put on this playlist because it's got the word witches in it. This was off of Block Party's second album, I think back in 2007. Again, like, here's the thing. Like, a lot of these songs don't belong on the playlist because they just don't belong. But this song, much like a song I'm going to discuss that is probably my most misguided choice as a Halloween song, like, ever, because it's on a lot of playlists, and it's because of the name of the song. But anyway, I'll get to that one later. It's soon. But this song was influenced by terrorist attacks. London's transportation system was attacked, and this was the band's response to that happening. So I don't understand how it's a Halloween song, but I mean, whatever. Let me keep going, or I'll just talk these to death. Number 48, David Bowie, Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. Another amazing song. Again, a lot of these songs are picked because they're titles. And do I believe that this song belongs? I mean, maybe, but this again, not necessarily what I would consider a Halloween song. It's a great song. But is there another David Bowie song that could have been chosen? Probably. There is a really good remix of this song. I think Ice Cube's on it. And I love Ice Cube, so I would have chosen that version if I chose this song. But anyway, it's a good song. Not necessarily something I would put on a Halloween playlist, even though I'll admit, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, this song is on my radio station for Halloween. So there's that, right? Next up, number 47 is Suburban and Bella Porch with a song called Inferno. I have no idea who either one of these artists are, or I didn't before I listened to this. Bella Porch is a Filipino-American social media star, and Suburban is a American musician and record producer. So, again, I really don't know a lot about this song. This was really just a song that has creepy kids singing, which always is great in a horror movie, you know. But instead of this song, could they have chosen any of the songs from the Omen soundtrack? Maybe. But is it a Halloween song? I don't know, because I believe this song has something to do with sexual assault. So not it's a very heavy topic, and was chosen for a Halloween song or Halloween greatest hits or list. Gosh, I'm tripping over my words. Anyway, I wouldn't have chose this. Number 46, one of my favorite musicians ever from My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way, Baby You're a Haunted House. Now, it may be blasphemy, but I don't really like this song. This has Gerard's brother Mikey, Ian from Aquabats, and Tom Rasulo's on drums. This probably is the first song on the list that I guess on the surface would make sense as a Halloween song, but this song is about being in love and dealing with your emotions. I like the video because I think it's the one where they're all dressed up like ghosts, but I don't know. It's a good song. It's just I don't think it's a Halloween song. Anyway, number 45, Alice Cooper, Feed My Frankenstein. Now this obviously is because of, again, Frankenstein's in the title, right? But what is this song really about? Is it about Halloween? No. Alice Cooper's Feed My Frankenstein, if you don't know. I mean, Alice Cooper, of course, is a great choice for any Halloween playlist because it's Alice Cooper, right? But this is actually I think this was a song by a band called Zodiac Mind Warp. Alice Cooper covered it. But, yeah, I'm looking it up now. Zodiac Mind Warp and The Love Reaction. This was off their album called Hoodlum Thunder. Alice Cooper covered this on his 19th solo album. Good Lord. This song is very popular because it was in Wayne's World. Elvira's on this. She, that's probably why they picked it. So I'm not going to get too much. And this is a good song. It's not a bad choice. But a lot of people remember this because of Wayne's World. Next up is an artist that I didn't know much about. I do have a pop for him, a Funko Pop. Didn't know anything about this artist. Youngblood. Song's called The Funeral. This is a fairly new song. It was released in 2022. Now, again, what does this have to do with Halloween other than it's called The Funeral, right? So, I don't know. I still don't know. Somebody let me know. Because I don't know why this is a Halloween song. And that's all I got to say about that. Number 43, one of my favorite songs, always on my Halloween playlists. It is Kip Tyler, She's My Witch. I love this song. This makes me feel like Halloween. And to be fair, insert the Letterkenny, noise. This song's really not a Halloween song either, I guess. It just, maybe I've heard it so much in association with Halloween that I associate it with Halloween, because it's another love song, right? And I guess a lot of these songs are going to be on the surface something different, and then they're love songs, right? Or anti-love songs or whatever. But I would definitely include this song just because it's always been a song that I've associated with Halloween. I mean, to be fair, again, I'll say that a lot. There aren't a lot of songs specifically about Halloween on anybody's lists, but I will include some in case you want to add some things. I've shared a few playlists so far this year that have really, really good lists, and they're good for parties. And that's the other thing. Like, I would assume that most lists for Halloween are made so that you can listen to them at a Halloween party. So you have to take into account the song has to be enjoyable. It can't be a bunch of, weird sound effects and noises that drive everybody crazy and want you to turn off the music, because that's no fun. Anyway, next up, number 42, Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Heads Will Roll. I really like this song too. I love Karen O's voice. Anything that she sings, I'll listen to. This, I think I heard this for the first time as a single before its Blitz came out. This song supposedly is sang from the viewpoint of the Queen of Hearts in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which makes a ton of sense. This video has, sorry, I was reading something. I just paused and spaced out for a second. I think there's a dancing werewolf in this video. And a bunch of people get killed in it. But it was nominated for an MTV Video Music Award back when MTV played videos, right? So I would put this song on a playlist. We can debate whether it's a Halloween song, because it's not. It's more of a fantasy song. So take that as you will. Next up, number 41, David Byrne, Fuzzy Freaky. Excuse me. Again, this is not a song that I would probably include on a Halloween playlist, because the very first, the lyrics in it, it's summertime and the grass is high. Fuzzy, freaky, funny family. It's summertime is not Halloween, right? So, right off the bat, that's taken, you're done. That song shouldn't be included. It's talking about summertime. Next up, number 40, Beck, Devil's Haircut. This song also gets included on a lot of playlists because it has the word devil in the soundtrack, or the title, right? That's the reason. There's really no other reason. And this is an amazing song. Um, not a Halloween song, but it says devil, so, I guess it counts. Next up, number 39, because this is turning, I'm already at 20 minutes, man. I've only gone 10 songs. I got a billion more to go, so this is going to be fun. Next up is My Chemical Romance, one of my favorite bands ever. Song is called Dead. This could be included because, again, the song's dead, right? But this song is about dying. I mean, this whole album's about dying. This is from the Black Parade, I believe. It's about, the end of your life. Did you get what you deserved? It's not really a Halloween song. It's a song about reflection and, what did life give you? So, not a Halloween song, an amazing song, great song, will make you think. But again, I'm judging these songs based on whether they're Halloween songs or not, and that is not a Halloween song. There's better songs by them that you could put on a Halloween playlist. Next up, number 38, Taylor Swift and Haim, No Body, No Crime. I don't know why this song's on this album. This was released in 2021. It's a murder ballad, so it's basically, in the vein of a Johnny Cash song or Goodbye Earl by the Dixie Chicks. But this is not a Halloween song. This is a song about revenge and avenging someone's death, and not not a Halloween song. So I don't again, I guess it's the name of the song, because even the song doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Or the song title, not the song. The song makes perfect sense, but the song title, I guess, is what gets it put on the list. So, again, no idea why this one's on there. Really good story. It's, about infidelity and avenge or revenge, or however you want to take it, depending on your point of view. That is what that song's about. So, not a Halloween song. Again, so how many Halloween songs has there been? Like 2 so far out of 13? Next up is Napoleon 14. They're coming to take me away. This is I think one of many that's from the Dr. Demento, if you know who that is. Made Weird Al, big star, plays a lot of weird music. This is not a Halloween song. This is more of a, I mean, it's hard to explain this song. It's just a weird, quirky song. It's just a novelty song, it's about a guy who goes insane, after his girlfriend leaves him. That's pretty much what the song's about. So, not a Halloween song. I mean, it would fit, I guess, because it's catchy and people like to sing it, but it's not a Halloween song, right? Next up, number 36, Ty Segall, Black Magic. This is one of many, and I'll say this a lot, I'm assuming, this is one of many songs that was chosen because of its title. This song is not about witchcraft. It's about, from what I gather or remember, this is about it's a love story or love song. So, not, and if I'm wrong on some of these, hey, let me know. But this was a love song to me when I listened to it. Not about witches or witchcraft or anything like that. And there are songs about both. 35 is The Weeknd, amazing artist. This is a song called The Hills. Again, even with The Weeknd, you could have chosen a different song. This was a very, very popular song. It was on a ton of year-end lists. It was number one on several places all over the world. I just don't know why this has anything to do with Halloween. It's a good song, like I said. Like, I'm not going to discount any of the songs on this list as being bad songs. It's just a love song. I don't know. I'm gonna have a hard time explaining a lot of these being love songs. Then, I mean, it's dark. I think it's about like a Lothario. That's the role that the character plays. So, not a Halloween song by any means. Again, not surprising. It's like when you see those lists of Halloween songs in a magazine that never covers Halloween any other time. It's just because somebody said, "Hey, we need to have this Halloween issue, have a list of songs that people should listen to. So go make one." Okay. Well, I'll just Google search ghosts and monsters, and that's the list I'll choose. It'll be Rihanna Monster, which isn't about Halloween. Anyway, next up, 34, Sophie, Face Shopping. I'm going to go quicker on some of these. This is a really good song. Our friend told us about the tragedy of Sophie and how she died. I think a balcony fall from a hotel was what it turned out to be, but not sure why this is a Halloween song. I think this was about people in their faces and having false identities, and the whole idea of image, and the effect that image has on everyone. So good song, good idea, but not Halloween, right? Next up, number 33 is a person I've never heard of called Kenny Hoopla. And I probably sound super old by not knowing what a lot of these artists are. But Kenny Hoopla, this song is called "How Will I Rest in Peace If I'm Buried by a Highway." I love the title of the song, but it's another song that has nothing to do with Halloween. I'm glad that a lot of these artists are getting airtime because of this list, which is awesome. But this is definitely not a Halloween song. It's like, there's a Ghetto Boy song called My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. I would include it on this list over a lot of these because they actually talk about Halloween and it falling on the weekend and trick-or-treating. So, like, they cover two of the most important things in a Halloween song they mention by words, not, All right, so next up, number 32. This song is on every playlist of Halloween that has ever been created. It's Screaming Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on You. There's not much more else you can say about this song. It's an amazing song. He put everything into this song, and this is the song that he's most known for. So this, check all the way. Add this to your playlist. It's a great song. But at the heart of it, I guess it's the closest thing to a true Halloween song so far. Next up, I'm very excited this song was included. Buck Owens, It's a Monster's Holiday, or Monster's Holiday. I don't know. I think it's both. Very first lyric of this song. Frankenstein was the first in line and the Wolfman came up next. So, right off the bat, Universal Horror. Amazing. That song definitely makes the list. Buck Owens, that is a great song. And that's, I think it's from the 70s. But yeah, 74. Anyway, that's a cool song. Add that to your list. Next up is Jimmy Cross, I Want My Baby Back. This song is a Halloween novelty song. It is very, very funny. This is from the 60s. It's making fun of all the teenage tragedy songs back then, like My Boyfriend's Back and Leader of the Pack and all those songs. This song's hilarious to me. It's basically about a car crash and this guy. It's not really a song. It's more of him telling a story. Anyway, they get in a wreck and his girlfriend ends up in pieces. And zombie overtones. So that's a cool song. I guess technically it's not a Halloween song, but I like it. It reminds me of Halloween. Next up, number 29. We're finally in the 20s. This is Halsey, Nightmare. Again, like, amazing artist, great song. This song, I think there's something. Do you remember that band Tattoo? The Russian, I think they were Russian. All the Things She Said. I loved that song when it came out. There's an interpolation of that song in this. So that's part of why it's so catchy. But this song, Nightmare, is about autonomy, sexual freedom, self-acceptance. Not about Halloween, right? So, again, surprising, not about Halloween. All right, number 28, Talking Heads, Psycho Killer. I love this song. I love Talking Heads. This song is great. Technically not a Halloween song, right? More of a horror song. I love the fact that this was used in Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, one of the greatest horror movies. Very, very underrated horror movie. If you haven't seen it, check that out. Great song. Not necessarily about Halloween. It's about a serial killer, right? And he speaks French very well in this song. People Are Strange by The Doors, number 27. That is next. This song, I believe this song is about alienation and being an outsider. But it fits very well with I think Halloween and a Halloween list, because people who love Halloween are considered strange by many. So that is feeling of being an outsider and alienation, right? So I think that's a good choice for a Halloween list. And it's a cool song, so it sounds good at a party, right? Next up, number 26, Dickie Lee, Strange Things Happen. This song, This song was written by a psychologist named Dr. Milton Addington. It was inspired by a story about a girl named Kathy Harmon. It's basically a ghost story. So there you go. It's a ghost story. It's a Halloween song. I think that fits well. Read more about it. It's a really interesting story about what that song's about. Next up, another song that has absolutely no place on this list. Eminem and Juice WRLD, Godzilla. I don't know if they accidentally didn't put Blue Oyster Cult, Godzilla. Even that song doesn't make sense on a Halloween playlist, but it would make more sense, I guess, than this song. There are very few rap songs that I would equate to Halloween, like Haunted House by Houdini, but this is definitely not one. Next song, because there's nothing really else to say about that. Next up, number 24, Charlie Daniels, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. One of my favorite songs of all time. And it is an amazing tale of good versus evil. The devil definitely won that contest. I mean, listen to it again. But not a Halloween song, but it's, I guess, appropriate because it's about the devil. And if you're technical, or if that's the way you want to lean your beliefs, like Halloween has something to do with the devil, then I guess it fits for you. But I just like the song. Not necessarily a Halloween song, but I do know it's on a lot of playlists because it's just a kick-ass song, right? Next up, number 23, the Ramones, or Ramones. I don't know if you put the before it. Pet Sematary. Great, great, great horror song. An amazing song from a great movie. Not necessarily Halloween, right? But it gives you the feel. Like, this is one of those songs I give props for because it makes me think about Halloween. Number 22, Van Halen, Running with the Devil. Again, I think this song was included just because there's the word devil in the title, right? And that's fine. A lot of this stuff, I don't want to be too critical, but this song makes it on a lot because of the devil. And that's, whatever. Next up, definitely an amazing Halloween song. This is Jumpin' Gene Simmons, no relation to Gene Simmons from Kiss. Haunted House. This song is literally about a guy who buys a haunted house. Gene Simmons actually took his name in homage to Jumpin' Gene Simmons. So there is some connection, right? This song was also re-recorded. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who re-recorded it. This guy, Gene Simmons, was born in Mississippi, so I did a little bit of a story on him. I think last year I found where his grave is and all that stuff. I'm trying to remember who else. There's a cover of the song. I can't remember who it is. If I think of it before I sign off recording this, I'll say it. But Gene Simmons began recording with Sun Records. He was an opening act for Elvis Presley. Here it is. Haunted House was a cover of a song by Johnny Fuller, which also was a very popular song. Both versions of the song are great. The song was also covered by Sam the Sham, John Fogerty, Jerry Lee Lewis. Gene Simmons also co-wrote, if anybody's a country music fan, he co-wrote Indian Outlaw by Tim McGraw. So he definitely kept his hands on music for his life. Number 20. This song is just really, really good. Donovan, Season of the Witch. I believe this is a great Halloween song. Donovan was a Scottish singer-songwriter, if you didn't know. This is on his third studio album, Sunshine Superman. But there's a guy named Sean Phillips who claims authorship of this song. So there's a little bit of dispute there. And because of that, this song was not released until I think a year after they recorded it. But here's the cool thing about this song. Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones were involved. Supposedly, it's another one of the supposedly stories, right? Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones were London session musicians at the time, and they played on other Donovan sessions around the time of the recording of Season of the Witch, but there is no real, their contributions to the song aren't exactly known. So who knows? This song was a huge psychedelic pop era hit. It's super, foreboding and sinister. It's about paranoia and the paranormal. I absolutely love this song. This was in, if you watch that show Grimm, about the Grimm fairy tales, this song was used in that. Anyway, I hear this song a lot during Halloween time, and I'm all about it. Check mark, I'm applaud. Number 19, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Nightmare on My Street. Another movie tie-in. I love how Freddy Krueger's in this. And I'm trying to remember who does. It's not, they couldn't get Robert Englund, I don't think, to do this. I'm trying to remember who does the voice. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince got sued by New Line Cinema for making this song. And they made a music video that was supposed to be destroyed, although it did survive and you can find it online. This was settled out of court, and one of the results of that settlement was on the album itself, there has to be a sticker that says this song is not part of the soundtrack and is not authorized, licensed, or affiliated with Nightmare on Elm Street. Try telling us that, because we all thought it was. It was going to be included on Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 Dream Master, but they decided against it. I have the single on vinyl. I used to have the cassette, but I'm trying to find who did the voice. I can't find it. Anyway, there's two versions of this song because the original was over 6 minutes long. It would not fit on single cassette. So they had to shorten it down. There's a single version that cuts off. Actually, it was for the CD because CDs had a specific runtime. So they shortened the song down to fit on CDs, which I think I have the 6-minute version. Anyway, that's his Halloween song because of its ties to horror movies. And it's funny, but I mean, a big chunk of the song is not a song at all. It's just them talking. So if you're playing it at a party, that kind of can throw you off. But next up, number 18, Jim Stafford, Swamp Witch. Jim Stafford is a singer, songwriter, musician, and comedian. This song, I had to look up this guy because I couldn't remember who did it. He also sang a song called Spiders and Snakes, Under the Scotsman's Kilt, He headlined his own theater in Branson, Missouri for 30 years. He's a self-taught musician on the guitar, fiddle, piano, banjo, organ, and harmonica. This dude is awesome. Swamp Witch was his first chart hit, and was not his most popular. He did the song Spiders and Snakes, peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's crazy. He wrote a bunch of stuff for soundtracks. He worked on the Disney movie The Fox and the Hound. He wrote a song for Clint Eastwood's movie Any Which Way You Can. Jerry Reed's covered his stuff. So this dude's all over the place, like just cool. He was married to Bobby Gentry, if you know who that is, the singer-songwriter. You probably know one of her songs. He was in Bloodsuckers from Outer Space in 1984. He's been in everything, right? This dude's all over the place. I didn't even know I knew who he was. So, another song, Swamp Witch, most likely included because of, it's got the word witch in it, right? All right, number 17, Danny Elfman, This Is Halloween. Any song from this Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack could be included on a Halloween list, right? So, I mean, what else you going to say? We'll get into the actual band Danny Elfman was in, that I believe their music is way more appropriate for Halloween, even though, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas can't beat the other band. You know, if you know the band, their songs definitely fit Halloween. Next up, Sheb Wooley, The Purple People Eater. Another novelty song. I think this was a Dr. Demento special too, on Dr. Demento's album. This song really has no place on a Halloween album or a Halloween list other than it's a song about a monster. So give it a pass, right? And it's a funny song. Next up, number 15, another horror movie related song. Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells. This song, it is so good. Whenever you hear this, you instantly think of The Exorcist, right? It was a match made in heaven. The Exorcist and Tubular Bells just fit together so great. Again, so not necessarily a Halloween song, right? It's more of a horror song, but it gives you that feeling of dread because of its ties to The Exorcist. So we'll give it a pass, right? Number 14, Stevie Wonder, one of the greatest musicians ever. Superstition, great song. And it's actually about superstitions, right? So it fits. I give it a pass. I give it a check. Put Stevie Wonder Superstition on your list. Wonderful, right? Next song is kind of a song. Great song, right? Eagles. Or The Eagles. I think it's just Eagles. Witchy Woman. It's not a Halloween song, but because of the title, it kind of, I don't know, it just gives you a feeling of Halloween. This song was originally started being written by Bernie Leadon, who was the guitarist. He was in the Flying Burrito Brothers, and he started writing this song. And when he joined the Eagles, him and Don Henley finished the song together. And it's the only song on the Eagles' debut album where Don Henley had writing credit. The story goes, Henley said Leadon came over one day and he started playing this very weird off-key or minor key riff, not off-key. And he said to him it sounded like a Hollywood movie version of Indian music. Like what would play when the Indians would ride up on the ridge while a wagon train passes below. It was haunting. And then, he thought it was interesting, so they put a rough version down on cassette. So the inspiration for the title and the lyrics is about a seductive enchantress, because it's a witch. Zelda Fitzgerald was the biggest inspiration for the song. Don Henley said he was suffering from the flu and had a high fever and was almost like just delirious. And every time his fever subsided, he would read this book on Zelda Fitzgerald. And so he said the character Witchy Woman is a mixture of Zelda Fitzgerald and some girls he met at the Whiskey and the Troubadour. So if you don't know who Zelda Fitzgerald is, that is F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife. She was a jazz age Roaring Twenties flapper, and for you book lovers, Zelda Fitzgerald is supposed to be the model for Daisy Buchanan from The Great Gatsby. So also, Henley said other influences include a book by Carlos Castaneda on shamanism, and he knew a girl who was interested in the occult. So, take it as you will. I think it's a good song to put on a Halloween playlist, but the story behind it's very interesting. So, read up on Zelda Fitzgerald, read up on, where these songs come from, because they're not always as upfront as they sound. Next up is the most irritating song to me that is included on a Halloween playlist, because it's not a song about Halloween at all. This is a protest song. This is a song that it's not about Halloween at all. This is about the IRA and the Troubles and Northern Ireland and war and the aftermath of people having to deal with just the repercussions of war and but because it's called Zombie, everybody puts it on Halloween playlists, and it's not a Halloween song. Good Lord. This song was originally supposed to be titled In Your Head, but it was changed to Zombie. But God, it's not a song about Halloween. Cranberry Zombie, an amazing song, but it is not a Halloween song. Please take it off your lists. It is definitely not that. That's all I got to say about that. So next up, number 11, we're almost in the top 10. Number 11, Ministry, Every Day is Halloween. Obviously a great Halloween song, but just a little bit of a backstory. This song is more about sorry, I just accidentally opened a window that started playing a song. This song was written and produced by Al Jorgensen. Every Day is Halloween is a song about well, I don't know if it's about, but the goth community has taken this song as sort of their anthem. Tell me if that's true, goth community, because I will definitely not speak for you. It's definitely a song that I think I hear a lot on. I think I just heard this on Goth Dad, lead singer, musician for Vision Video. he put out a Halloween playlist, and this song's on it. So Goth Dad approved, Vision Video approved. So what better endorsement can you get than from that guy? He's awesome. Next up, number 10, Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper. Is it a Halloween song? It's about not fearing death. So, I mean, I guess, because ultimately Halloween is a celebration of changing of the times from bountiful harvest to the harshness of winter. So, circle of life, right? It's a great song, but it's a song about the inevitability of death, and just don't be afraid to fear it, because it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. So that's it, great song. Great song. Next up, number 9, we are in the top 10, and I am almost an hour into this. I'm so sorry that I've rambled for this long, but I felt this was a fun topic. So next up, Sam Smith and Kim Petras, Unholy. This song is amazing, but it's not a Halloween song, right? Definitely not a Halloween song. This is a song, it got very, very popular because it was used in, I think, TikTok videos. This song is not a Halloween song. It's a sexual about a guy going to a strip club behind his wife's back. That's literally what the song's about. It's an adultery song. So it's not a Halloween song, but it's a great song. Next up, this is the band I was in reference to when I spoke about Danny Elfman. Oingo Boingo. Many of their songs could be included on this playlist, and hopefully yours. But Dead Man's Party is a great one. No One Lives Forever is another song I would add on a Halloween playlist. Oingo Boingo, my wife and I were very, very happy to be able to go last year to see Danny Elfman perform live, and it was amazing. Despite the fact that this 7-foot-tall guy stood in front of me the entire damn concert and would not sit down, I still had a good time because it was for her. Danny Elfman's my wife's ultimate favorite musician, so we were very excited to get to go see him live in Los Angeles last year. Almost decided to go again this year, but I think once was enough in my lifetime. Like, it'll last forever. It was that good. Number 7, my kids love this song. 21 Pilots, Heathen. Not a Halloween song. I guess I could go into maybe it could be, because I've talked about, the traditions of Halloween back a long time ago where kids would just cause destruction and, turn outhouses upside down and all that stuff. I guess you're a heathen if you do that. Or you're a heathen if you celebrate Halloween to some people. But I don't think this song is a Halloween song. Number 6, Ray Parker Jr., another movie tie-in that's on every Halloween playlist. Ghostbusters. I love the story about Ghostbusters and Ray Parker Jr. and how I don't love it. It's just it sounds terrible to say I love it, but the fact that Huey Lewis in the News, Huey Lewis, I'm trying to find the exact, the there was a lawsuit accusing Parker of basing his melody on Huey Lewis' song "I Want a New Drug," and there was a settlement achieved. So it's weird that those two songs will be tied together, and they're both amazing songs. So Ghostbusters, definitely you can put on your Halloween playlist. It's not specifically about Halloween, but you know, it's a good song. Same as the next one. Number 5, the Rocky Horror Cast doing Time Warp. It's not a Halloween song, but it's a great song. Number 4, we are in the top 5 now. Billie Eilish. Wonderful artist. Bury a Friend is the song that Sirius XM decided to choose. Billy is singing from the perspective of a monster hiding under someone's bed. I don't know if that qualifies to be a Halloween song. So I don't know. I guess technically it counts because it's about a monster, but when I listen to it, excuse me, when I listen to it, I don't think of Halloween, right? According to Billie Eilish, the track's dark and violent lyrics are written from the perspective of the monster under your bed. Anything could be the monster. It could be someone you love so much that it's taking over your life. I think love and terror and hatred are all the same thing. So, take it how you want it. The top 3, I'll just go ahead and say they're all songs that are on every Halloween playlist. Number 3 is Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London. I love this song because it's very funny if you listen to the lyrics. And my wife tells me the story of how either she or her brother, when they were young, thought that the lyrics were, "There Goes the Thunder." So whenever I hear the chorus to this song, I hear "There Goes the Thunder." It's "Ah-ooh, there goes the thunder," not Werewolves of London. And I like the fact that he Warren Zevon appreciates when a werewolf dresses fancy, so he wants to know who his tailor is. Number 2, which I thought would be number 1 because it deserves to be number 1, Bobby Pickett, Monster Mash. I don't care how many times I hear this song, as long as it's not like overkill. But Monster Mash still is a hit. Monster Mash, if it doesn't make you think of Halloween or dressing up or getting ready, then there's something wrong with you. So what does that leave as number 1? Of course, number 1 on the Sirius XM Top 50 Freaky Countdown, Halloween's Greatest Hits, is Michael Jackson Thriller. And it's a wonderful song. The video, as a kid, I fell in love with the video. I still have the making of Thriller on VHS. It's actually, I found it yesterday. I found a box of my VHS tapes. And I don't believe it should be number 1, but it definitely should be included on any Halloween playlist. But I'm gonna, before I sign off, because that's it, like, what do you think of this list? I think it's horrible, but it's not horrible in the sense that it's bad songs. It's horrible in the sense that it's not a Halloween playlist. Some songs that they didn't include that I was very, very like kind of puzzled about is it's mostly older stuff. Like, there's a book I have called Monster Mash. It's pretty much about the time frame where everyone went crazy over monster stuff. So there was a ton of music back in the 50s and the 60s about monsters, and none of that stuff's on here. So I'm the Wolfman by Round Robin's not on there. Spooksville by the New Trends. There's not one Zachary song, which makes no sense to me. Of course, you know, I knew Bobby Pickett would be on it, but there's not Bo Diddley sang a song called Bo Meets the Monster back in the late 50s. There's, I don't know, it seems like they didn't do their research. Gary Warren's Werewolf's not on there. Like I said, there's no Zachary songs. Who's the other one that I'm very, very surprised? I'm trying to think of the name of it. There's so many good songs. It's like, I can't believe they left off so many. There's a song, God, what is it? The Cemetery song. I don't know if I said it, but Johnny Fuller was the guy who originally sang Haunted House. The Spooks, Spook Walks, amazing. Spooks. Speaking of spooks, there's the song by Louis Armstrong. Gosh, what is that song called? I can't think of it. Laverne Baker, Voodoo Voodoo, like that's not on the list. I'm trying to think of the more like not obscure stuff. Zacherle's the biggest surprise for me. Like they didn't include one Zacherle song. The Rockin' Ghost by Archie Blyer. That's probably... Oh, here it is. This is the Graveyard Rock by Tarantula Ghoul and her Gravediggers. I am amazingly surprised that was not included on this. There's all the variations of the Monster Mash that they put out, like the Monster Swim, and there's so many songs that try to capitalize on Monster Mash that aren't bad. Even Bobby Pickett made a song called Monsters Holiday, which may be the cover of that. I don't know if that's the cover that is on this list. Oh, I didn't even think about that. The one that Buck Owens did. But yeah, there's so many songs that I think were missed out on. Anyway, if you were to make a top 50 list, just straight up, if you wanted to recommend Halloween songs to somebody that either doesn't listen to Halloween music at all or only listens to it on Halloween Day, what would you put? Or what music would you put just to have, this crazy, awesome playlist? Like I only mentioned some of the older like Monster Mash era bands, but there's bands like Necromantics and Voltaire and Pink Fink and Vision Video, and there's all these wonderful contemporary bands that record music that would fit perfectly on a Halloween playlist. Who would you choose? I would love to hear it. I really wish SiriusXM would let me or the Halloween community have a little bit more input on what music that they play for their Scream channel and their other offshoot channel. I mean, the Scream channel mostly it seems to me mostly like sound effects and instrumentals, which is great, but I don't want to listen to that in my car. I want to listen to music that makes me feel like I cannot wait until Halloween comes and makes me miss it when it's over. So what would you choose? Like, that's really what I want to do. I'm going to come up with, or I'm going to try because it's impossible. I'm going to try to come up with a top 50. If I had to suggest 50 songs to someone to play or add to their Halloween playlist, what would I do? And we're going to go from there. So, as always, preserve Halloween.
When the moon is out and the werewolf shout, you gotta say werewolf. Yeah, werewolf, yeah, werewolf, yeah. Gotta say werewolf, werewolf, yeah, werewolf, yeah. you gotta say werewolf. When the moon is out and the werewolves shout, you gotta say werewolf. Ow! Ow! That's the sound of a werewolf.